Welcome to the Sack of Stats podcast. The Friday Five is back with my girl Kelly in Vegas, and we are here to bring you the five against the spread contest picks, which we have done in the last couple of years. Kelly, my girl, NFL is here. I am so excited. You got to be excited
It
too,
is
right?
here. I'm exhausted. It's like Thursday night, 5 o'clock East Coast. You're in Vegas right now, which everything's all discombobulated. We're ready to argue because you are going to absolutely and utterly hate my best bet. And I forgot, I did not do this maliciously, but I forgot that you're a fan of the opposing team. So we're just going to just get right into it right out of the gate, I guess.
Well, we'll jump right into that. But for right now, I do want to explain if you are new to the podcast, what Kelly and I have done each year is we're in an NFL contest where you have to pick five against the spread picks in the NFL. Automatically in is Kelly's best bet. Automatically in is my best bet, even if we don't agree. And a lot of times we actually don't. Last year combined, we went 48, 39, and 3. Her best bets plus mine when it combined 21, 14, and 1. I think maybe only 1 week out of the entire season last year did we have the same best bet. So what's good about this is that you get variety. It's good. And then together we come up with the other three, which has been really tough. Do you still like our strategy? Is it working?
Well, listen, we're having a profitable year. We haven't cashed in the money. I don't
Hmm.
dislike our strategy. How about that? Let's say this. Me and my buddy Jeff, we have an entry this year. He cashed in one of the contests last 2 years ago. I got to remember.
Hmm.
Either way, he said, Cal, he goes, I won some money at the tables. I'm paying for another entry. So when we talk today, I go, all right, let's just do each a best bet and then we'll figure out the other three. He said, deal. So it must work for other people as well.
It's gotta work. It's gotta work. But for right now, I do have to just throw it out there. If you see me sweating profusely, I am in Vegas. I am in an apartment that is 88 degrees. There is no AC. I moved in on Sunday. I haven't had AC since. But we are here to grind the NFL season. Welcome to football, right? No better way to welcome in
Pam,
the grind
if
season.
if I was in your shoes, there is absolutely no way on earth I would be doing this show. There's no way. I'd be like, no, it's too hot.
So if you see me glistening, it's excitement.
There you
But let's
go.
jump right
Sparkling.
into it, Kelly. Let's just jump right into it. Kelly, you alluded that your best bet kind of goes against my favorite team in the NFL. What is it?
Oh God, everybody's gonna hate it. It is the Indianapolis Colts. Look, this is what we do week one, right? We look and I find the grossest divisional dogs. Divisional dogs 64, 44, and 2. Doesn't matter if they're at home, doesn't matter if they're away. The Colts just so happen to be at home. Look, I don't have a lot of great things to say about the Colts. I watched Anthony Richardson last year at Florida. We know he doesn't have very much experience, especially in the NFL. And we know that he's kind of like Jameis Winston and he can turn the ball over. But I do think that he, having lack of tape, having defensive coordinators not know what they're going to expect of him, has the ability here. And that's what I'm expecting to see of them. Now, on the flip side, we all know what Trevor Lawrence did last year. Pam, you and I went to the game versus the
Mhm.
Titans. It was awesome.
We did.
Titans covered. You guys won. We were both happy, even though I almost got beat up at the stadium. But I will say
Multiple
this.
times.
Yes, Trevor, look, Trevor didn't throw a ton of interceptions in comparison to the year previously. He had 9 fewer. I'm very happy for his progression, but I think they're getting just a little too big for their britches. I made them a 1.5 point favorite. When this hit
Mm.
5, I thought this was a little ridiculous. Another thing that I've seen on social media all week is former head coach Frank Wrights, and including the rest of the Colts previous to him, how bad they've been in their first season or their first game of the season, right? Well, they have a new head
Mhm.
coach, Shane Steichen. I think we have to throw those kind of things out the window, right? They have been on a quarterback carousel for the last few years, basically, actually, since Andrew Luck left. I think we need to give this team just a little bit more credit in Indianapolis. I think they might catch the Jags on a bad day. Jags just 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 as a favorite. Again, just a little too overblown. Would I be lying to you if I told you I didn't sprinkle a little bit on the money line, Pam? Yeah, I would. I took a little of the plus 180. Okay, I took the 5. It is what it is. Listen, it's just like with my college football dogs, right? Like, you got to sprinkle just a little bit. I'm still kicking myself for not sprinkling on Wyoming last week. So I did do a little bit of sprinkle, but how about this? Let's just call it 21-17 final. Jags win. We get the cover.
All right. I would love that to come to fruition. So that way we have a point on our contest card. But because I am a Jags fan, in case y'all haven't seen it, I got my Duval shoes. We did go to the we did go to the championship game. It was hella fun. I wore the jersey. Kelly almost got dismantled because she was in the Titans jersey. Like hella, she's like been against me from day one. But I have to give some love. This is not me going against you, Kelly, but I do want to give my Jags some love. I'm just gonna make a couple of points. You were talking about one thing that you mentioned is that the history of the Colts. The big question here is, are they going to break that curse? The Colts have not won game one since 2013. They haven't covered a spread since 2014. You say that it could be a Frank Wright situation. He wasn't the Colts coach back then. He didn't start until 2018. I'm a huge Trevor Lawrence fan. I had him as the Heisman winner when he was in college. That didn't come to fruition. I had him as Offensive Rookie of the Year. That didn't come to fruition. But I really love what Trevor Lawrence, his ability has really come to light. In the second half of the season, they finished 8-3. They won AFC South. We were at that game. Trevor Lawrence, he was 7th in completion, 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I really think that he has solidified himself as like a QB1. And I'm super, not just for this team, but like for fantasy purposes, for just like trusting him to be a franchise quarterback. That's T-Law. And against Indianapolis last year, 87% combined in 2 games. Now, not only does he have Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, they all had the best seasons of their career highs in targets, receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns. And now you get wide receiver Calvin Ridley. And I know that we haven't seen him in a couple of years, but I do know that he has like an immediate floor that he can provide this team. 9 yards per catch, 5.5 yards per target. That was the lowest of his career. That's the worst you're gonna get of him. So there's a huge ceiling up there. I'm really excited for this Jags team. So as long as they win, I could care less about the cover. But I want Duval to come out with a win so they can keep their season strong, 8-3 last year, and just start the new year hella strong. But you want them on the money line. Don't do that to me, girl. Don't do that to me.
Listen, here's my problem. And I've been accused of being a contrarian many times, and I don't mean to be a contrarian. Like I bet the Colts on Tuesday. I didn't see who was betting what, and then I get I follow all sorts of beat writers and sportsbook directors, and go figure, the Colts the Jaguars are like 90% of the tickets are on the Jags, and the line's dropping, and it just makes me all warm and fuzzy inside, okay? Like, I can't help it. I don't mean to be a contrarian. I just am. So I'm expecting just a touch of regression for your team this year.
Well, hopefully not. Kelly, your best bet automatically in. We'll move on to my best bet. And it's not any better, honestly. There's a lot of ugly underdogs. And I'm going with the Green Bay Packers, who don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. It's not just the line is +1, but I am taking them on the money line against the Bears. And this is all about Justin Fields. I love Justin Fields. He cashed a lot of tickets when it came to player props last year as a mobile quarterback. Rushed for a ton of yards, and he was short of the quarterback rushing record. But he still was tied for the most sacks in the league last year, total of 55. That was 9 more than the next. He had 11 thrown interceptions, 7 of which were at home. So I'm backing the Packers because I could care less what the offense looked like. Jordan Love, I have confidence that he can at least be capable because they should have a strong offensive line. But backing the Packers for me is more about backing the defense because they still have their key parts intact. They have the top 2 linebackers, Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, top 2 cornerbacks, Jair Alexander and Rasul Douglas. Those are 4 players that can absolutely wreak some havoc on Justin Fields. It's the defense that's going to win this game. And if you look at the games, it's always been, you want to look at his rushing yard props, Justin Fields' rushing yard props. But you also look at, he's been throwing interceptions when at home. And now you're going against some really 2 solid cornerbacks. So there's a thing that they always want to say, right? It was Aaron Rodgers. He would always go into the mic and say, I own the Bears. I think we're going to find out that it wasn't him who owned the Bears. It's actually the Packers who have owned the Bears, and it's going to be because of that defense. And the offensive line for the Bears, man, it's in shambles. Once again, every year it just looks terrible, and it doesn't look like it's going to improve at all this year. You have left tackle Tevin Jenkins. He's out on IR. Because he's out, they're rearranging the offensive line. So the center, Cody Whitehair, he's now left guard. The guard, Lucas Patrick, he's now the center. So it's just kind of like one big mess, one big cluster of an offensive line. And Justin Fields, as strong of a player he improved at the end of the season, should still have difficulty against this defense. It's probably, to me, a line that not too many people are considering because it is Jordan Love, new wide receivers, new tight ends, new everything. It doesn't matter. I'm back in the defense. Kelly, do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I don't blame you at all here, Pam. I'm actually not high on the Bears. If their run defense hasn't improved since last season, and it doesn't look like they did much to improve it, we might see Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon have a really good game, right? And that's kind of the other thing is I'm not high on this Bears team. I took their under season win total of 7.5 wins. I made everybody mad at me once again, but I don't understand all this Bears love. I don't understand Justin Fields, who is one notch above Davis Mills in the stat line. Maybe he looks more explosive. Maybe he acts more athletic, but in reality, that doesn't translate to the field. I'm with you here. I took, when it was 2.5, I teased the Packers like a few weeks back. And then I know some sharp money came in on the Packers. Obviously, that's why we're seeing +1 here. I'm with you. I think this looks like a money line play.
Wonderful. So that one automatically in is Kelly's best bet of the Colts +5, fading my Duval Nation. And then my best bet of the Packers against the Bears. So now we have the tall task of coming up with the other three, so the way we do this, just a little caveat, the way we do this, we don't at all talk about these games pre. This is entirely fresh or brand new. We want real reactions. And literally all it
Yeah, remember when I'm
is
trying
us
to like text
discussing.
you before and you get like mad, you're like, save it for
Don't
the show. Don't text me.
Save it for the show. I don't want your opinion because if I get your opinion pre-show, I feel like it could influence me. Whereas if we do this from fresh, you get your points across, I get my points across, and we're not trying to like necessarily alter each other's thought process here. I don't want to change your mind. If you like the Colts, I'm not trying to switch you to the Jags. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to find games that we do match up on and then from there, the strongest to the least. And if we do have to, okay, we ran out of games, then maybe try to like switch sides. But for now, I think there's a potential here and maybe we match up on some because it's week 1, a lot of underdogs that you and I naturally just bet underdogs. So let me see if I can entice you on one. And maybe I have no idea what your picks are, like I said, but my second favorite that I would have liked was the Browns +2.5 at home to the Bengals. And this is the Browns pass rush against the Bengals offensive line. He's out on IR. Jonah Williams, he replaces him. This is his first regular season game as right tackle. You still have Browns Myles Garrett. He is the best edge rusher in the league. 16 sacks last year, tied for the second most. He can not only handle the double coverage, he can even handle the triple teams. Like he could have the best season of his career is what I'm thinking because they have added Darius Smith, and I'm going to butcher his name because I always do. Abonia Arankwa. Terrible. It's terrible. If I want to be an analyst, I need to be better at that name. Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, and Maurice Hurst. It's going to be very difficult for opponents to dedicate extra help to Garrett, which can result in the best season of his career. I like looking at Garrett as for season-long props of having the most sacks in the league, going over his total regular season sacks of 4. And what I love about this matchup is that it's Burrow against the Browns, really. And in his career, he's 1-4 against the Browns, 18 total sacks, 5 interceptions. I love his player prop to throw an interception because you are getting plus money at +115. Are you kidding me? I love the Browns at home.
Yeah, Browns is probably either my second or third favorite dog. I think they're a great teaser spot this week, Pam. And in fact, I asked my fantasy team, even though John Murray just eviscerated me on the podcast yesterday and said, nobody cares about your fantasy team. Well, I have to care because it's a huge money league. Otherwise, I wouldn't participate. And guess what these guys did? They drafted all these Lions players, and then tonight they're not playing Jared Goff. They decided they were going to go with Joe Burrow. And I'm like, no. I don't like this spot. I like the Browns. They don't seem to care. I'm with you here. I think that Chubb could absolutely run all over this Bengals defense. I know historically Cleveland has not been good in divisional games. First year for Deshaun Watson to be the only starter. I think this team has a real possibility to make the wild card in the AFC North. We'll see kind of how they end up coming to fruition. But in this divisional game, I'm with you. The Browns look like the play.
Burrow was the sixth most sacked quarterback last year, and because of the problems they've already had at their center, I mean, there's a potential that it's going to look like that again. And this is probably supposed to be his best offensive line that he's had in his career, and that is actually not saying much, and especially when you're going
No,
up
it's
against the
not.
best front seven. Especially when you're going up against one of the best seven groups in the league. Miles Garrett, I think he can have himself a day. I'm looking at defensive player props for that game, which usually don't come out until the morning of. So look out for that because I'm probably going heavy on those on total tackles, total sacks, stuff like that. So then should we automatically plug that in or continue on to see if we have other
No,
likes?
I would say the Browns are my second favorite NFL spot this week. Like I said, I tease them. Now, what I am doing, and I'll say this because you and I have said this in the years past, and then I haven't stuck to it. I am only betting my best bet. I am in
That part.
three, four different pick five leagues between Vegas and online. I am in a whole mess of survivor leagues. You, Ariel, and I are in one as well. So we have been discussing that.
Mhm.
Mother of God, I have too much action on a league that is determined by kickers and referees. So I am only betting the Colts this week, but there is a small chance I might bet the Browns plus 2.5 because I do like them as well.
That is
I need help.
exactly what I was going to say. You and I last year did a very good job being disciplined because we had both talked about early on in the season, preseason, that our problem once we got into content creating and it became a thing of, hey, we're no longer sports bettors and now we're kind of just like firing on everything. But well, look what happened when we ended up firing on just our best bets. NFL for me finished like 71% or something.
Yeah.
And why?
No,
Because
I
of the
think
best
I
bets and I did like
you
one
just
player
said
prop,
what it
and that
was.
was it.
You said what it was between the two of us, just best bets. I think I took a step back last year. I think I was 12-6 last year on my best bets.
Yeah,
I don't have the
I'd
spreadsheet in
have to
front of
look
me.
back, but you and I were very similar, but combined, it was 21, 14, and 1, and having
There
only
you go.
1 in common. So that
Yeah,
was our combined best bets. So if you stuck with that, I mean, you're making money so off of that. And yes, it's
absolutely.
very difficult, especially in the NFL. Not everything is going to be a best bet. It's 5 picks. By force, because it's a contest, we have to do 5. But you and I essentially only ever really love 1. I love the Packers, you love the Colts, and yes, both really do love the Browns. So
Yeah,
it
I would say
may fall
I
on my
would say I
card.
really like the Browns here. I really like the Browns here. There's another team that I really like too, and it's more of a situational play because I did take their under season wins here, Pam. So do you mind if I get into why I like the Patriots?
Oh no. Okay, go for it.
All right. So I did take their under season wins every year. Chris Thurston and I bet each other because then you save the juice. I do think this Patriots team is going to take a step back. I am not a Mac Jones believer. I actually got into it with one of the Patriots radio guys the other day, and I said, "Hey, wouldn't you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo?" And he kept saying no, and people were jumping in the comment section. Yes, hurt Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, I agree. You don't want him, but he is a better quarterback than Mac Jones. And that's the unfortunate part here. Obviously, they got Juju Smith Schuster. They have a couple other really nice key guys on the offensive side of the ball. They picked up Zeke Elliott, Ramondre Stevenson, as you guys remember from last year. They should be able to run the ball. But here's the big thing, and what we know about teams that lost the Super Bowl, Pam, and that is
Mhm.
why I am going against the Eagles. I got to find the stat. I had it open, and where is it? Come on. I'll find it. I promise. Look, Bill Belichick is still the head coach of this team. I know a lot of people love Jalen Hurts. I have about 84 windows open right now on my computer. You guys, it's just been one of those days, but I'm going to find this stat for you. Pam, why do you not like the Patriots?
Not that I don't like it, I just don't have a strong opinion. I was
Okay.
not high on the Eagles at all last year, and it came to bite me in the butt. This year, I'm actually very high on the Eagles because I believe they are the most complete team. They have, and I mean, if you look at them from, if you win, I took them as a futures option prediction to win the Super Bowl because in order to win the Super Bowl, you need to have an elite offensive line and elite defense, and they have both. And the Patriots, I mean, I love Mac Jones. I loved him in college because he was responsible for cashing a very big prop. I did a ladder prop in his passing yards, but I haven't really seen anything from him since that says he's like solidified himself as a long term quarterback in the league. But the only thing that is going in your favor, I think, for this week is Philadelphia was 2-6 against the spread on the road last year. That was tied for the worst record against the spread in 2022 season. So for that reason alone, I could definitely back it. The 3.5 is very enticing. You get the hook at home, but stuff like that, is it dumb to say that it scares me? You're getting the hook with the home dog
It looks too
against.
easy. Okay, I did find the stat: 4-19 over the last 23 seasons. The Super Bowl loser is week number 1.
Well, there you
I
go.
have bet it. I have bet it since the Panthers lost to the Broncos. So what was that, Super Bowl 50, like 2015, 2016, whatever that was.
Mhm.
So it is a great play, and it's a situational play. Now, did I get to the window with it with my hard-earned money? No, but I put it in every single contest entry. Again, I'm not that high on the Patriots. That's just full disclosure. But this is just one of those historical fades. You know, I've always been told NFL games don't land one, but Pam, maybe we can get like a 21-20 final here.
What do you say we put it on our first option, and then we'll continue on since we've only gone through best bets so far. Is there another game that you like?
Another game that I would say that I like. Here's where kind of from my side of things, right? Because you do more analyst stuff and I do more hosting stuff at Wager
Right.
Talk, where it's a little different. I like to get all of my work done early, okay? Because
Right.
I don't want anything that those guys have to say, while I respect them, while I know they get privy to sharp information, I don't like it to like kind of skew my opinions, right? So
Exactly.
I will say my bet that I really like is the New York Giants, another divisional home dog here. We both love Brian Dable, but I will
I
say
love
this
Brian.
caveat, and this was bet by a sharp group, and there's a reason why it's 3.5. Now, 2.5, completely different than 3.5. We know 3 is the most key number in the league, but that kind of money does concern me.
I definitely wanna stay off. And I don't want to because you made some very
I don't
compelling
blame
points,
you.
but
I knew you were
but
gonna
the
like
on
it, but
the only reason why I'm, like, scared to do that is because the Giants last year were 11-3 against the spread as an underdog. Tell me that it's not serious regression here, and I love Brian Dable. I think he is, like, one of the best coaches in the league, if not the best, and what he's done, for Daniel Jones, like, yeah, he definitely changed him into saw what his strengths and weaknesses were and figured out how to capitalize that in season, which is why they had such a great against the spread record. My problem is that the Cowboys, even though I mean they've won 10 consecutive games against the Giants, so you were basically asking them to finish to beat them, and I don't know if that to happen. I just don't. I don't. I can look at the Cowboys objectively also. As a Texan who has been born and raised a Cowboys, I am not at all
listen,
a Cowboys fan, but I'm also, like,
you
very
know who
biased of, like.
my new favorite NFL player is Deuce Vaughn. So, like, would it break my heart to have a
That's
Giants
true.
+3 ticket in pocket and they run some crazy goal line formation and there comes Deuce in between 2 6'6" guys to just wreck my soul? Like, that's a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
possibility. I'm not going to get to the window with the Giants, but I did use them. So I have 4 contests that I'm doing just by myself, no partners. I used them in
Mhm.
2 out of the 4. I did the other 2 with your favorite team. And we
Alright, well,
got
let's
accused
let
of
let's
it being your favorite team on Twitter.
let's just keep on rolling. I do like the option, the one that we have right now is the Patriots, as I do like that option more than touching the Cowboys game. I would rather just, like, not. I just don't have anything strong on either side, and I hate threes. You have to be it's either you're winning or you're not, and I don't think the Giants, with the against the spread record that they had last year, is in a position to straight out win. So then another option. What do you think about the Raiders against your team, the Broncos, plus 3.5 on the road? Because okay, let me say. Okay. I'm like, wait, getting confused here because I'm trying to like let me get this. All right. Broncos 15-8-3 against the spread in the first 2 weeks since 2000. But the Raiders are actually 6-0 against Denver in the last 3 years. Now, this is for me more of a play against rather than a play on because we all know that quarterback Russell Wilson last year he just stunk in every aspect of the game. That is my best analysis that I could give. Russell Wilson stunk, but he had career lows in completion rate, touchdown rate. He had a 7.3 YPA. That was the second lowest rate of his career. Head coach, Sean Payton. Oh, bright, shining stars. He's going to come in and save the day and make him the bright young star that he used to be. Is that really going to happen? Is that really going to happen quickly? I need to see it proven first before I start believing that Sean Payton is like God's gift to the Broncos. I'm not there yet. I need to see it. But at least with the Raiders quarterback and Jimmy Garoppolo, we know what we're getting from him. And I think because of the amount of injuries that he has had in his career, he's a bit more of an underrated quarterback. But he's 40-17 as a starter. Last year, he was actually the fourth best quarterback in the league in expected points added. He is a very productive quarterback. Just couldn't stay healthy, but he's good. So now you're getting 3.5. We always talk about that half, but he's getting a hook on the road to the Broncos, who they've owned in the last 3 years. Another one that seems to me too easy.
Do you remember last year what this spread was when Jimmy played for the 49ers?
What was it?
The Niners were 3.5-point favorites, and I took the Broncos. The Broncos won the game outright. You do not lay points with the Broncos, right? I don't care whether
You
it's
back them as
Nathaniel
dogs, you
Hackett.
don't take them as favorites.
You don't, and not in a divisional spot here. I am ecstatic do I have a Broncos helmet? I do, and it's got a couple signatures on it. I am a Broncos fan. I grew up that way. But let me tell you about this team. They are absolutely atrocious until otherwise proven, okay?
Right.
Russell Wilson literally just got told by Sean Payton, stop kissing babies. This isn't the Russell Wilson show. Listen, this is what I will say. Sean Payton took a 3-13 Saints team and made them a winning team in 1 year. Can he do that game one here in a divisional matchup with a team that was just absolutely dumped in the dirt by Nathaniel Hackett? It was terrible. It was absolutely disgusting. Now, I will say that I like Jimmy G more than I liked Derek Carr. We know that they have Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow. He's got some decent weapons. They signed 22 free agents in the offseason. This looks like a coin flip type game. And if you're giving me a coin flip, I want to take the points. Denver has dropped 6 straight in the division as home favorites.
I mean, it sounds like you're more convinced on this one than getting involved with the Cowboys-Giants game.
Listen, I am such a buy-in on certain things. I buy in week 1 divisional dogs. You could talk me into any one of them. I'll just be honest with you. Just the magnitude of what we've seen year in and year out. You could also probably talk me into most divisional unders. So this is absolutely an under game. I think this game could be
under. I think under too.
17-16 snooze fest, just like it was last year, where they were kicking field goals left and right versus the Niners. I mean, that's this type of game to me. So if you're giving me 3.5 points, I'm all for it. This team hates the Raiders. The Raiders hate the Broncos. This is going to be a knockout, drag-out slugfest.
And I'm not at all convinced that the Raiders are going to be good and that even Jimmy Garoppolo is going to come in and save the day and turn them into a winning team. I think they're still a hot mess. I think there's a lot of question marks on offense, on defense, the offensive line. Yes, there's a lot of head coach is still very questionable. But I think for this matchup in week 1, it's a good one.
Yeah,
would you like
absolutely.
to plug this into our card?
I think we should. I think it should be the Pats, the
Out
Raiders.
Of the 3 games that we talked about, out of the 3 games that we talked about, getting the Eagles, the Patriots, the Cowboys, Giants, or the Raiders, Broncos, you seem more confident about fading the Broncos.
Yeah, it's come second nature as favorites anymore. I'm looking at the screen right now. I don't think this one's going to hit 3 for obvious reasons. Let me pull this up. I want to see something really quick, but I would have to say it's Raiders or pass. I'm definitely not laying it with the Broncos here. I would love for Sean Payton to turn this team around. I would love to see something other than a 9-yard slant route from Russell Wilson that is completed. I just don't think that that's who he is anymore. Oh, no, there are 3s minus 120. Ooh, 3 minus 125. Okay, yeah. That's going to be interesting. Somebody agrees with you there, Pam, on the Raiders. I'm all for it.
Okay, I love that. I'm looking at their against the spread record as a home favorite. That is also something that I probably should have written, but I'm going to go ahead and look it up. 4-7 against the spread as a home favorite since 2021. Plug it in. Plug it in.
Girl,
So
I
right now we
know.
have 4 games.
This is my team. I
Girl,
know what
I
a
know. I've
dumpster
been
fire they are.
experiencing
They're
it.
an
I'm a Bronco
embarrassment.
fan.
Our
Okay.
friend of a friend of a friend, Megan, is like, Cal, are you going to come to the games this year? And I'm like trying to look at the schedule. I'm like, can I find one that they're not going to lose and just piss me off for having to fly across the country to go watch? Like,
Exactly. Money spent. It's not fun. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and move on because we only got 1 game left. Is there any other game that you love more than one that we haven't talked about?
yeah. This one's disgusting. And we got made fun of about it on Twitter because you love the Jets. And I can't believe you don't want to back the Jets with Dalvin Cook and my favorite quarterback, Aaron
I will not
Rodgers.
bet the Jets. I will not bet the Jets. I will not bet
Yeah,
the
but
Jets. Do we need to
listen,
go
I
back and
took them
remember
up
that?
to 9.5 wins, but I circled this one as a win. Look, the Bills have been through an immense amount of heartache, and it's been tough for them, right? Last year, they did lose as 10.5-point road favorites. I think it was like week 9, week 10, something like that. Obviously, Josh Allen got hurt in that game, but this is probably a game they have circled, right? Any kind of time there's a divisional game. I don't think the Jets are going to make this big leap, but I think the Bills are going to take a step back. Tua is going to slide right in with the Dolphins, so I did take them plus 275. The offensive line is the question I have here, right? You mentioned Aaron Rodgers' offensive line and how many times he got sacked and how many interceptions he threw last year. This is what I think how this progresses. I think they can absolutely win this game and still go under their season win total because once he starts having that bad attitude, like just know, and I said this on a couple of shows, that Aaron Rodgers and I are the same person. We hate losing. And we hate losing at the cost of other people more than we hate losing at the cost of our own selves, right? Like if I'm the reason why I lose, so be it. But if somebody else is the reason why I lose, you're going to hear about it. And that's what happened with his offensive line in Denver. And I think that's what's going to happen in New York. This offensive line is absolutely suspect. Yes, we know they have a good defense. They have a decent running game with now, Brees Hall. Yeah, I like the Jets here plus 3.5. I think it's a good spot to back
It's
them.
not 3.5. For the contest, it's 2.5.
Ooh, you're right. It is 2.5. I'm sorry. It opened 3.
That's a
Now it's
huge
2.5.
difference.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Brain is fried at this point in time. I need more Celsius because I still have 2 shows left to do today. I teased the Jets a few weeks back with the Packers. I teased the Jets a few weeks back with the Dolphins. Now the Dolphins are at 3. I don't love that as much, but this would probably be, if we had to go in order, I have maybe one more team that I could make a case for, but
It really just scared me that you thought it was 3.5, and now from 3.5 to 2.5 is a huge difference.
no, I knew it was 2.5 because you wouldn't tease 3.5.
I
My
did
brain is just broken. Pam, I spent 10 days in the desert, and that was 2 weeks ago. I still haven't fully recovered. Like, I'm
I'm
going to
in
be really honest with you.
88-degree temperature indoors. I
And
have
8
I
more
have
days
sweat
of that.
dripping down my back as we speak. Y'all are getting a
Okay,
little
listen,
TMI
don't
right
give
now,
the
but y'all
sense.
don't
Don't
know.
give the sense anymore. You already get enough dirty DMs. I don't need more, okay? There's a reason why my DMs are closed. You guys, I almost had to go ham on a guy in
I am
Pam's
just
DM
keeping
last
it
night.
real. I am just keeping it real. Y'all don't know the struggle that I have right now with this sweat, and the AC people aren't coming until Tuesday, so I gotta try to keep my sanity through week 1 of the NFL. I'm gonna spend
Go find
all
a
my
nice
time at
cold
the
sports book. Yeah.
Okay,
Sleep in
fine.
there.
So
Just pull up a chair or two, get a blanket.
I don't think that we have that much games to talk about. So I'm going to put that one down as an option, and then we're going to narrow it down by 3 games. So we have the Eagles Patriots, the Patriots plus 3.5 at home. We have the Jets, which Twitter already knows. Twitter already knows me too well. Jets plus 2.5 at home. Or there's one other game that I wanted to talk about. And we'll see. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just putting down our options because I want to try to give us the best opportunity for a 5-0. Last year we finally hit a 5-0, and girl, I want to get that again. So let's go one more game to mention about. I'm surprised that you actually didn't talk about it. You're talking about divisional dogs and all these things. The Panthers plus 3.5 at the Falcons.
Okay, so the reason why is because when we were talking about Survivor with Ariel in our Survivor chat, you said you like the Falcons for Survivor. So
I
why
love
on
the
earth would I
Falcons for
wanna take
Survivor. Tell me this is not going to be a 21-20 game. Tell me this is not going to be a 2021.
Okay.
The Panthers
Okay,
are going to cover. The Falcons are going to win. I have read the script. I have read
I
the
don't
script. I have
need
looked
this
into my
amount
pretty
of
crystal
stress
ball,
week
and I know.
1. That is
I
a
love
lot of
the Falcons.
stress. You're asking me to middle a game week 1. We're going to take the 3.5 with a rookie quarterback who is not even taller than Kyler Murray against a team that we're going to take on the money line in a Survivor pool.
Obviously, I don't know the rules of Survivor. I'm just trying to bring pure chaos into the mix. All right, hold on. I'm gonna give you my. I'm gonna get. It's over. Cut it off. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do it because look, Panthers are one of the teams that I was high on preseason.
I will let you
The
keep the
Carolina
Panthers, but I don't want to hear one more word about them for Survivor. Then let's just take
These are
Ariel's
actually
Ravens
no.
and
Hold on.
let me have a peaceful Sunday.
Let me explain. Let me explain. This is actually 2 teams that I'm super excited about preseason. So you want to give me 2 teams that I think are going to be competitive. Give me plus 3.5 in a competitive matchup that's going to be a field goal game 21-20. I'm saying it. I see it in the stars. Carolina quarterback, number 1 draft pick, Bryce Young, since 2010. This is the part you're talking about that is not good. The number 1 quarterback draft picks, 1-7-1 against the spread in their first career start. 1-4-1 against the spread in week 1. So why would I want to back the Panthers? Because the last player to win outright, David Carr in 2010. He was the last number 1 quarterback to win out. Young is better than Carr by a million miles. I like Young to break this trend. The Atlanta defense last year, fewest sacks, fewest takeaways in the league, allowed the second highest rate of opponents to reach the red zone or score before reaching the red zone. Young, in his first rookie start of his NFL career, could not have asked for a better matchup. There's going to be little to no pressure, which is great for his skill set coming into as a pro career. He can deliver the passes quickly, especially in the short and intermediate range, and he still has the arm strength to get downfield. I really do love the Panthers to be competitive, but I also love the Falcons as a whole to win the game because it's Bijan and the run game is going to they're going to play keep away at the end. And Kelly is going to lose her mind.
I'm texting Ariel right now. I just want you to know she and I are texting, and she goes, "What are you doing?" Because my phone's on Do Not Disturb. I go, "Trying not to kill Pam week 1." She wants to take Panthers plus 3.5 and Falcons in our Survivor.
I can't. I'm sweating too much for this. We can't.
I can't either. Okay, we can take the Panthers, but I will find a better spot for us to use the Falcons. Mother of God, I have a grid. I have it all mapped out. Please, my heart cannot take it. I drink too much Celsius and coffee to try to stay alive during football season. Please do not do this to me.
Okay.
So I'll take the 3.5 with the divisional away underdog. I will do that. But I don't want to hear any more about the Falcons.
Okay, honestly, let's just scrap that from the list. In retrospect, kind of crazy. I get it. I think it's going to be competitive. I'm just throwing that out into the ethers that I am saying this is going to be a competitive 1-point game. So then let's eliminate it from the card. We are trying to go 5-0. Let's be a little bit more realistic. And we have 2 options: the Jets plus 2.5 at home or the Patriots plus 3.5. You pick. Both of them are both skeptical of both.
I took both season win totals under. If I have to say which one I like more, I trust Bill Belichick, and I will take Bill Belichick plus 3.5 at home.
Belichick plus 3.5. It is. Well, then that is our. If the Patriots don't cover and the Panthers do.
I said I would take the Panthers. I just can't take them with the Falcons. You could have talked to me in the divisional dog.
Week 1. Let's just get through week 1. Let's just get through. That does it for our 5 against the spread contest. That is our 5 against the spread contest picks. Y'all can love it or hate it. I don't know where we fall on that spectrum. Kelly's best bet is the Colts plus 5 at home to my Jags. My best bet is the Packers plus 1 at the Bears. We are both betting only our best bets. And for contest purposes, filling in the other three with the Browns +2.5 at home to the Bengals, the Raiders +3.5 at Broncos, and Bill Belichick and company Patriots +3.5 at home to the Eagles, leaving the Panthers +3.5 at the Falcons off the card because we may like the
How about
Falcons for
this?
Survivor.
How about this? How about this? We actually have, we're in both contests this year. Full disclosure, Pam and I played both Vegas contests.
Yes.
Maybe we do one Pats, one Panthers.
Okay. Yes. So for this one, we'll do the Patriots +3.5. Our
For the
second
show.
contest, we will take out the Patriots and instead plug in the Panthers. Same
And
four,
not use
swap
the
those two.
Falcons for Survivor. Done. See you
And
later. It was a
done,
great show.
done. This is why we do this. We have to talk about it. This is the problem, guys. Yes, we're analysts. She has her own opinions. I have my own opinions, and it's very difficult to try to combine the two for 5 picks. We have some leeway here. I love it. I love our card, and I love our strategy of swapping out the Patriots for the Panthers in the other contest because I honestly forgot we ever did 2 contests. I
Pam had me running all around Vegas to sign up for all these different contests, and she now
I
forgets.
am an 80-degree. I need a shower right now.
We'll take a shower so that all the guys in the comment section can really enjoy this part. Pam,
Oh god, I
I love
forget.
you.
All right, I forget that
Good
I'm
luck
not
to
just
us.
having a conversation with you.
Let's have a 5-0 week.
That's it, guys. That is it. That is our 5 against the spread contest picks. Good luck, us. Make sure to follow Kelly in Vegas on Twitter at Kelly in Vegas. You can follow me on Twitter at Pamela M35. Do make sure to check out all of her work at the Kelly and Murray Show, which she's doing a great job of. Make sure you follow my stuff on Yahoo. And then that's it for week 1 of the NFL. We will check you back next week.